Well, hey guys, Happy New Year to you all. Welcome to 2019. I want to be the first to wish you a Happy New Year. And so on this January 1st, I want to just say a big, huge thank you to all of you for your support of our ministry here. God has done and is doing great things here. And most of that is because of your support, and people like you have come alongside of us for the long haul. So I wanted to thank you for that. Two things I wanted to bring your attention for prayer and support in the coming year for Aletheia College Park and for the Stevens family. Number one, I'm going to be going back to Nicaragua in March on the University of Maryland spring break. I'm going to be taking some college students, some young adults down there for mission. We believe foreign missions is important. God has a heart for the nations, and so every year we go to Nicaragua. We have a wonderful partnership down there. So I ask for your prayer for me as I prepare our team, and also ask that you would prayerfully consider helping me to financially go on this trip. The cost of the trip is $1,400. It's always that set price, and so if you are able to give to help me go on mission and lead this team, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. The second thing I wanted to bring your attention is big news and something I'm really excited about. In 2019, I'm going to be taking a pastoral sabbatical. Now, this is new to me. I've never taken a sabbatical before, and you may be asking, why are you going on a sabbatical, Rob? You've only been in College Park for a little over 5 years. That's very, very true. There's two reasons why. Number one, I believe that it is my duty as a pastor to not only teach, but also model what God desires of us. And one of the things that God desires of us that our culture just doesn't get, in fact, our culture pushes back on, is the idea of rest. In fact, when you go to the Ten Commandments, every one of those, if you break them, you would get fired in pastoral ministry except for one. And if you break this one commandment, you actually might even get a promotion, not fired. And that is the commandment to keep the Sabbath holy, to rest, right? And I have confessed to our church, I'm confessing to you, my support team, that I have not modeled rest very well at all. In fact, I've learned recently that I don't know how to rest in the Lord. And so I'm taking this sabbatical, one, to learn and to model for my church family, for the health of this church plant, rest. The second reason that I'm taking this is because I want to be in this for the long haul. I believe God has called me to be a pastor for the rest of my life, and particularly to be here until He calls me somewhere else, and to equip people and send them out. Let me read you some disturbing statistics that I was reading this week and online. An article. Statistically, guys, 80% of pastors, 80%, wrap your brain around that, will not be in ministry beyond 10 years. So 8 out of 10 pastors won't make it past 10 years. In fact, those who are seminary trained only last 5 years, statistically. 70% of pastors constantly fight depression. Depression is a very real thing in ministry. The vocation of ministry is an isolated, a lonely vocation at times. 70% of pastors do not feel like they have a close friend. Again, a very lonely profession. 50% of pastors are discouraged, and they would leave their jobs immediately, leave the ministry if they felt like they could find another job. Not only that, their families are adversely affected. These are statistics, all right? I'm not pulling this out of the air here. 80% of pastors, 80% believe that ministry has negatively affected their families. In fact, 50% of pastors and their wives have said the most destructive thing that ever happened to their marriage was the day that they entered ministry. And that's just a small sample of a bunch of statistics in this line that tell us that pastoral burnout is a very real thing. In fact, Nine Marks, a ministry that I'm very fond of about health church ministry, put out a whole journal last year on pastoral burnout because it's such a prevalent problem in the ministry. And therefore, it's a prevalent problem in the church, my friends. And so because I want to be in this for the long haul, I am taking a sabbatical. I want you guys to know that this is not a reactive sabbatical. It's not, I'm looking over the edge and I'm about to jump, all right? I am not burned out, but I see it in the future. I see unhealthy patterns and things that I need to get in front of. And so this is more of what I call preemptive sabbatical. My goal in this sabbatical is to rest, to learn about rest. I'm praying for personal revival and renewal, and I want to focus on family health. Now, you may be asking, how's the church plant going to make it while you're gone? Well, we intentionally plan this so that it's at the end of the school year. And of course, our church is a very collegiate heavy church. And so we are going to plan this when most of our people are going to be gone and ministry slows down a great deal. April through July, it's a very slow ministry season. Plus, by God's grace, we have 3 lay elders now who are going to do much of the pastoral work. And by God's grace, through a sister church of ours, Capitol Hill Baptist, we have pretty much pulpit supply for the whole time now. So God has graciously provided, and I think the church is going to be fine. A few things that I would want you to pray about from me. Number 1, that I would rest. Number 2, that I would find revival, as I said. Number 3, pray for my family and that we would have personal renewal during this time. I want to really intimately get away with Denise and pursue her heart. I want to spend personal one-on-one time with all 3 of my boys and just spend that time together. My oldest is a teenager now, and so I want to just spend some significant time with him as he's transitioning into manhood. So pray for that, and of course pray for our church family. Another thing that I would like for you to consider is helping me out during this sabbatical time. Our church is paying my salary, so that's a wonderful thing. No problems there. However, our budget is very, very tight, and so there are no additional funds for me for travel and whatnot. Number 1, I would ask if you have a cabin or a beach house, or someone who loves Jesus and would be supportive of something like this, that has a cabin or a beach house that they would be willing to lend out for free, please reach out to me and let me know as I'm starting to kind of put together the solid plans of when I'm going and where I'm going to retreat. Number 2, if you would just be willing to send some funding to help fund this travel and whatnot, that would be amazing too. There's going to be, I'm trying to do some conferences and things like that as well in this stretch. And so, any additional ways that you can support us there would be great. And of course, as I said earlier, please cover me in prayer. I'm looking forward to it. I believe the Lord's going to peel back some things in my life, and so I'm looking forward to kind of going under the knife spiritually. Thank you guys for praying for me. And if you got any questions, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about it. Either way, I hope you have a wonderful new year. Keep pushing back the darkness with the light of the gospel. Love you guys. Bye.